It's gone. Nowhere to be found. My bag is missing, and it had my passport in it. Frantically searching, I was looked down upon by my mother-in-law, Olivia, with a sardonic smile. It's what you deserve. A foolish wife like you has been struck by divine retribution. We're heading back to America first. This is goodbye for you. With that, she burst into loud laughter. I realized then that entrusting my bag to Olivia was a mistake. Her actions plunged me into darkness. I am Madison, 30 years old. Married to Mark for 3 years. We don't have kids yet, but live a happy life in a town close to my in-laws' house. Even after getting married, I worked hard as a working mother, dedicating my energy to both my job and household chores. My father-in-law passed away 5 years ago, and Olivia, living alone, often came to our house to complain about my housekeeping, which became a source of stress for me. Why don't you just give up being a working mother? You're not doing any significant job anyway. You can't work properly, and your housekeeping is mediocre. It's sad for Mark. Supporting Mark properly is what a wife should do. Continuing, she rubbed a finger across our floor. There's so much dust, it's disgusting. And she sighed dramatically. As Olivia put it, I'm not great at housework. I admit that, but being accused of dust buildup was unfair. I clean every morning before work, and I cook with our health in mind. Yet Olivia says whatever she likes. Belittling me is her way of stress relief. Honestly, every day was a struggle. Then, Olivia suddenly wanted to go on a family trip with us. She invited us and Mark's sister's family too. Sister-in-law Emma, like Mark, is very mild-mannered, and we often visit each other's homes, so I had no issue with her, but the idea of traveling with Olivia made me uneasy. I had frequently discussed Olivia's snide remarks with Mark, so I shared my apprehensions about the trip. Mom wants to go with us. Maybe she wants to create happy memories with you. It's a chance for you to get over your discomfort with Mom and build a more open relationship. Mark optimistically suggested. That's true. It's our first trip with your mom. Maybe we'll make great memories and break down barriers. Encouraged by Mark's kind smile, I decided to enjoy the trip. Olivia made all the plans, including the destination and itinerary, so we just matched our schedules. I wonder where Mom's planning to go. I hope it's not too expensive. Then Mark casually said, Oh, she emailed saying we're going to Australia. I sighed at his words. My fears were confirmed. Olivia, unconcerned about our financial situation, chose an extravagant international destination. Well, can't help it. Mom chose it, so let's indulge her this time, Mark reasoned. Understanding his feelings, I somehow managed to fund the trip from our savings. Mark, Emma's husband, and I managed to align our vacations with the trip, and all that was left was to depart. On the day, we safely arrived in Australia. The time flew by as we enjoyed the magnificent natural scenery and delicious food, and soon it was time to return home. It was a wonderful trip. I got so tanned. Even at the airport, Olivia was still excited and playful. While it was a truly fantastic experience and enjoyable, I had one lingering regret. What's wrong? You look down. Sad to leave Australia? Mark asked, looking into my face. Well, it's not a big deal, but I couldn't get as close to your mom as I'd hoped. We barely talked since we never had a moment alone during the trip. Mark put his hand on my shoulder, saying, Don't worry too much. We all had fun and enjoyed our time together, and that's what matters. He smiled reassuringly. Thinking maybe I was overthinking it, I followed the others. It's pretty crowded here. I should use the restroom before we board, Olivia said, and then turned to me. Madison, hold my bags for me, will you? Everyone, leave your bags with her and let's go together. She left me with her heavy luggage and hurried off. I wanted to go to the restroom too. Seeing this, Sorry, Madison. I'll take over when I'm back. Just wait for me, Emma said. Not too long after they left, Olivia returned alone. That was quick, I said, surprised. It was empty. Now where did you put my bags? She looked around. It's over there. I pointed at her luggage by her feet. Why is my expensive bag on the floor? I handed it to you so you wouldn't put it down. How could you be so careless? She picked it up and clutched it protectively. But it was heavy, and I was holding everyone else's bags too. Olivia cut me off. Enough. You really lack consideration. Why don't you just use the restroom too? I'll be kind and watch your bags. Just leave them on the floor. Your cheap bag is fine there. She said arrogantly, Thank you. I'll be right back. I left my bag on the floor and headed to the restroom, only to find a long line. Emma came out. Madison, what about the bags? She asked worriedly. I let Mark's mom watch them so I could come here, but it's really crowded. This might take a while. Olivia said it was empty, but maybe I just had bad timing. Finally, when I came out, Emma was waiting for me. I didn't want to get lost, so I thought I'd go back with you. I'm directionally challenged, so I was grateful Emma waited. When we got back, Olivia was standing alone, and the men seemed to be elsewhere. Thanks for watching the bags. I looked where I left mine, but that's strange. My bag was nowhere to be seen. I'm sure I left it here. I checked all the bags, but only mine was missing. My bag's gone. But you were here the whole time, right, mother-in-law? I asked Olivia in a panic. Your bag? I don't know. Maybe it was never here. I felt a wave of darkness. No, I definitely left it here, right in front of you. Olivia snorted. I didn't see anything. Don't blame me. I was sure I left it there because Olivia told me to. What should I do? My passport was in the bag. As I panicked, Olivia sneered with a sarcastic smile. Maybe this is payback for how you treated my bag, throwing it on the floor. A terrible wife like you deserves to be punished by not returning to America. I don't have time to deal with you. You're on your own. We're leaving without you. Goodbye. She laughed mockingly. I was filled with anger at Olivia's cold words. This wasn't just my problem. My bag had everyone's passports in it. Without it, none of us can go back to America. Olivia's face froze upon hearing this. What? Why on earth do you have everyone's passports? She grabbed my arm, raising her voice. Emma, who had been listening to our conversation, anxiously explained to Olivia. Since we had a lot of luggage, we were worried about losing the passports, so Mark was managing them. You must have forgotten because you were too excited, Mom. Hearing this, Olivia retorted. Was that so? I was busy and forgot. But why were the passports with you and not Mark? That's strange. She accused me. Mark had too much luggage to carry, so I've been keeping them since we left the hotel. Olivia, with veins throbbing on her temple, said, Why didn't you say something so important? I had no idea your bag had everyone's passports. I would have kept an eye on it if I knew. I couldn't believe her words. What do you mean? You took your eyes off my bag? Earlier you said you didn't know about it, so was my bag stolen? Emma, looking pale, confronted Olivia. Mom, explain what happened. Was Madison's bag really stolen? Olivia snorted. How would I know if it was stolen? It was just gone when I noticed. Olivia stood there, arms crossed, unapologetically. I can't believe it. That's so irresponsible. Then Mark and the others returned, noticing our troubled expressions. What's wrong? Any trouble? He asked, concerned. After I explained everything, Mark sighed, looking at Olivia. This is urgent. We need to search for the bag right away. Mark and I exchanged a look of agreement. I definitely left it here. Olivia, you told me to put it there, remember? I pointed to the corner where all our luggage was placed. It took us about 15 minutes to return from the restroom. It must have been taken during that time. Olivia, where were you standing? Olivia, still with her arms crossed, said, I was right here the whole time watching the bags. I wouldn't wander off from everyone's important luggage. But your bag was on the edge, out of my sight. I'm only human. I can't be perfect. She turned away. Let's file a theft report and check the surveillance cameras. The thief might still be nearby. We should act fast. As Mark started to approach airport personnel, Olivia grabbed his arm. Wait a minute. Filing a theft report sounds drastic. It's more realistic and quicker to just get the passports reissued. Mark shook off her hand. Either way, we need a theft report from the police to prevent passport misuse. Then we'll proceed with reissuing them back at the embassy. But there's still a chance we could get the bag back, so we need to check the surveillance cameras to see who took it. Agreeing with Mark, Emma said, That's right, brother. We should act quickly. Olivia getting defensive. All of this is her fault. She should take responsibility. Let her run around and catch the person who took her bag. There's no need for police involvement when she can handle it. And she became furious, ranting. Emma retorted, That's no way to talk. Calling Madison this woman is really upsetting. Mom, it was you who didn't watch the bags properly. Don't shift the blame onto her. Emma spoke up for me, saying what I had wanted to say to Olivia. Mark seemed to feel the same way, and put his hand on my shoulder. Madison won't be searching alone, Mom. Why are you so against filing a theft report? Olivia seemed a bit shaken. It's not that. I've never dealt with the police, so I'm hesitant. I prefer to solve it ourselves if possible. Fine, I'll help look too. Everyone split up and search. She forcefully tried to steer the conversation toward searching for the thief ourselves. Then, at that moment, Ah, I found you. I've been looking for you. A young man approached Olivia. I thought you might be in trouble after leaving this bag. I'm glad I found it. Your trip could have been ruined. He handed over my bag. Where did you find this bag? I asked him, surprised. The lady left it on the table in the lounge over there. I tried calling out to her, but she didn't hear me and disappeared into the crowd, so I've been looking for her. We were stunned by his words. The lounge? She left it there? Without giving us a second thought, the young man handed the bag to Olivia. Please be careful. You're lucky I found it. Someone else might have taken it. We thanked the young man profusely in place of a frozen Olivia. Turning to Olivia, we asked, Mom, what's going on? How do you explain the bag being in the lounge? Mark's voice trembled with anger. No explanation needed. Mom deliberately left Madison's bag in the lounge, right? And she wasn't watching our luggage either. Everything she said was a lie. It's unbelievable that she would be so cruel to Madison, leaving her bag in a distant lounge. She was trying to avoid camera checks because she knew it would expose her. Emma looked at Olivia with disdain. I quickly checked the contents of the bag. All the passports are here. Wallets and mobile phones too, all safe. We were really lucky to have such a kind person find it. Relieved, yet I felt like exploding at Olivia. How could you do this, Olivia? Why would you do something like this? Confronting Olivia, she responded without remorse. Well, she threw my precious bag on the floor. I was just upset. I'm not the bad one here. Who would have thought this dirty bag had everyone's passports? It was just a moment in the lounge. I didn't leave your luggage unattended, so don't get it wrong. Hearing this, Mark raised his voice. Enough already. What do you think Madison is? I've always known how hard you've been on her since we got married. I kept telling Madison to be patient, hoping your attitude would change, but I was wrong. I failed to empathize with her suffering. I'm sorry, Madison. Mark apologized to me. His sincere words and attitude made me tear up. Mark, resolute, faced Olivia. Mom intentionally took someone else's property. It's equivalent to theft. Even if you don't realize it, checking the surveillance cameras would prove your guilt. Hearing this, Olivia was shocked. Wait, Mark, you're not really going to report me to the police, are you? We're family. And Madison is your wife, even if by marriage. There's no crime in a mother taking her daughter's bag. I looked at Mark's face. Mark spoke with a bitter expression. That's ridiculous, Mom. You should be apologizing to Madison first. Trying to escape the situation without admitting your fault and using family as an excuse is embarrassing as your son. Looking straight into Olivia's eyes. We won't report to the police, but we're cutting ties with you. Don't show your face to me and Madison again. We'll take a different flight home. He took my hand. Wait, hold on. You can't just decide this all of a sudden. I don't accept this. Please think it over. I'm begging you. I'll apologize. Forgive me, Mark. Olivia clung to Mark's feet, trying to stop him, but... Mom, this is disgraceful. Stop it. Emma pulled her away. Emma and her husband forcibly took a crying Olivia away, leaving Mark and me alone. Are you sure about this, Mark? Cutting ties with your mom? I asked, concerned. This is for the best. You're the most important person to me. I'm sorry for not protecting you until now, he said, smiling sadly, and embraced me. We managed to get on a different flight home, returning to our normal life, but without Olivia in it. Emma also decided to keep her distance from Olivia. We moved far away from the in-laws' house, completely cutting off contact with Olivia. Likely, Olivia is living alone, shunned by Emma too. Half a year after the Australia trip, I found out I was pregnant. But Olivia will never know or meet this child. In this peaceful town, without Olivia, we'll walk towards our future. My only wish is for me, Mark, and our baby to live happily.